Home prices across the Barrie area dropped in February between 8 and 13% compared to last year. But there was one town where prices actually went up. Hello everyone, I'm James Myers and welcome back to my monthly real estate market update for Barrie and the surrounding areas. It finally feels like we're turning the corner on winter. The snowbanks are shrinking so you can actually drive down a subdivision street and not have to deke around cars because the snowbanks are taking up one of the lanes. And people are starting to think about spring again. But when it comes to the real estate market, the numbers in February were colder than the weather in February. Prices were down in most areas compared to last year. Sales volume was down as well. The one exception, Innisfil, where the number of sales held steady and prices actually ticked up a little bit. Now, let's take a look at the numbers. Simcoe County, all property types, there were 422 sales. The average price of all those sales was $729,000, just over $729,000. There were 1,320 new listings, and those listings stayed on the market an average of 50 days. 50 days on the market. Barrie detached houses, there were 64 sales. That's down 30% from last year. That's a big drop in the number of sales. The average price of all those sales was $722,600. There were 197 new listings, and the average number of days on the market was 41. There were 24 freehold townhouses sold in Barrie last month, and the average price of those was around $588,000. There were 41 new listings, and they were on the market for an average of 45 days. Condominium apartments in Barrie, there were only 11 sold. That's a huge drop from last year. The average price of all those sales was $473,000, roughly $500, $473,500. There were 86 listings, and the average number of days on the market was 48. So in terms of number of new listings compared to number of sales, 86 new listings versus 11 sales for the month would give you just under 8 months of inventory. But that is only counting those new listings there. There were 161 active listings in the month of February. So that works out to well over a year's worth of inventory in the condo apartment market. Now that's going to change. February was really slow. I'm sure it will pick up and that number of months of inventory will drop. I think we're going to see more than 11 condominium apartments sold in a month going forward in 2026. Now we move on to the outlier of the group, Innisfil detached properties. Always a strange one. Woohoo, Innisfil! Number of sales, same as last year, 38. Average price was up a little bit to just over $830,000. Number of new listings was at 126 and 37 days on the market. So there's my February market update. If you're a homeowner and are considering downsizing or selling at some point this year, the market has definitely changed from where it was 3, 4, 5 years ago. If you'd like to talk about what your options might be in your particular situation, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. My contact information is in the description down below. Thanks for watching.